A thank you to our fans from the XFL. The COVID-19 pandemic and the most recent local and state regulations have left the XFL no choice but to officially cancel the remainder of the 2020 season. This decision has been made with the health and safety of the entire XFL family as our top priority. While we are disappointed to not complete the 2020 season, our hearts are full of appreciation for all your overwhelming support. Your passion, your commitment to your favorite XFL team, and your love of football made our season a success beyond our wildest dreams. We're grateful for the incredible response and look forward to playing full season for you and with you in the 2021 and beyond. When our teams return to the field, we'll make every effort to ensure your faith in us is rewarded with even more fun and excitement. Your passion is our purpose, and everything we do, every day, and for every season to come, is for the love of football. We hope you stay connected to our league and team and digital channels for news, features, and updates along the way. From all of us at the XFL, be safe, stay healthy, and again, thank you. Here's to 2021. Oliver Luck, Commissioner and CEO, and Jeffrey Pollock, President and COO.
Bingo, bingo, go!
Here's Seattle trailing by a field goal. Looking end zone, it is caught. Touchdown, Austin Prohl. On the dart from Silvers. And it's the first touchdown of this new XFL.
There you have it, my friends. What is up, my friends? Welcome to another edition of the XFL Week in Review. I'm your host, Mark Perry from Xfl News Hub, and on this week's show, we talk about the XFL players signing with NFL teams. And you just heard it right there. The XFL season is officially done. Not that we're surprised. We had a little glimmer of hope just based on the way things were worded, but with Olympics shutting down, and yeah, we're not going to do that right now. So we have that and so much more. So how do you get in touch with the show? You email podcast at XFL News Hub with your MP3 or your videos, or you call 888-430-7692 extension 3. Remember, cutoff time is 5 p.m. Eastern on Mondays, so you get it into the show. Remember, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We can read it on the show. Question of the week was, who do you think PJ Walker is going to sign with? We can't do that because we know, and we're going to tell you who we signed with in a minute, too. So we have that, plus your social media reaction to the news of today of all these XFL players signing, and so much more. So without further ado, folks, let's just get into the week that was, you know what it is, the XFL. Today, March 23rd, signals the official day that NFL or XFL players can sign with NFL or CFL teams. That's right, starting today, it was at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. XFL players will be released from their contract. Before they can be released from their contract, they need to sign a notice of contract termination. Once that's executed, they can test the NFL or CFL free agent waters. That's today. We were getting held up on when they could do that. They got past all the legal logistics of the whole deal, and now it's set, and XFL players, as of today, March 23rd, can sign with NFL teams. We had our first big signing, and then first signing of the new NFL XFL crossover, if you will, where PJ Walker, no surprise to anyone at all, becomes the first player taken from the XFL to the NFL. Where does PJ Walker lined up? Well, according to Diana Rossini, the Carolina Panthers. They will sign the Houston Roughnecks star QB. This happened 2 hours after the official 9 a.m. start of the XFL, NFL free agent period. Diana Rossini was the one that broke it. This was also confirmed by multiple reporters like Ian Rappaport. Now, Walker finished his stellar XFL career undefeated as he and the Houston Roughnecks went 5-0. His stats through 5 games, 111 completions for 184 attempts, 119 completions, a 65% completion rating, 1,338 yards, passing yards, 15 touchdowns, and 4 INTs. Do you remember this? The Houston Roughnecks' first touchdown in franchise history?
Got his man, Cam Phillips at the 10, 5, touchdown, Roughnecks, 50 yards, Cam Phillips from P.J. Walker, 6-0, Roughnecks.
The first touchdown. Remember, the Cam Phillips, P.J. Walker combination is no more. Now, the new Carolina Panthers head coach is Matt Rule, who was Walker's coach at Temple from 2013 to 2016. So they have a familiarity, they are familiar with each other and their styles. Rule was the former head coach at Baylor University and Temple University before he landed with the new Carolina Panthers gig. Rossini went on to say that she was told that the Seattle Seahawks and Arizona Cardinals also had very strong interest in P.J. Walker. There was some reports out there about the Broncos, but that looks like that didn't come through fruition. Out of those 3 teams, Seattle, Arizona, and Broncos, the Broncos were the team, but no one put the Matt Rule thing together with the Carolina Panthers. Now, this doesn't mean that Walker is a lock to be the starting QB in Carolina. Well, because you're like, well, what about Cam Newton? Well, he's essentially on his way out. They signed former Saints backup quarterback Teddy Bridgewater to a new 3-year deal, and according to Pro Football Talk, Bridgewater's 3-year deal with the Panthers pays about $63 million. Of that amount, $33 million is guaranteed. So clearly, P.J. Walker is not going to step in and be the starting quarterback just based on dollars alone, but Teddy Bridgewater has history of some injuries. He was looking pretty good, then had that bad knee injury that kind of knocked him out. Then he was with the Saints for 2 years as the backup. But it will still be interesting to see that QB battle between Bridgewater and Walker in the preseason, if we ever get a preseason. Then there's no word yet on the terms of Walker's new contract. But we assume it's not going to be big $30 million like Teddy Bridgewater. Now, what about for us XFL fans? So in Houston, this leaves June Jones Roughnecks with Connor Cook as their starting QB going into the 2021 season. Cook was the first player taken by Houston in the Phase 1 portion of the 2020 XFL draft. It will be really, at the time, we all thought that was crazy. Why would you take 2 QBs? Essentially, June Jones felt that Connor Cook was as close to a P.J. Walker as he could get. And we were just really, everybody was really surprised that they took Connor Cook so close. Maybe they knew that, hey, Philip Walker is the real deal. We need a guy that can come in when P.J. Walker, I keep saying that, when P.J. Walker leaves. And now they have their guy. And it'll be really interesting for Connor Cook where he gets taken in XFL fantasy drafts. Because I have a feeling in that June Jones offense, guys are making money. Guys are signing XFL or NFL contracts. Players are going to want to play for June Jones. P.J. Walker isn't the only Houston Roughnecks player to sign. Dietrich Nicholls signed with the New Orleans Saints, according to his agent Ashton Wilson. The former Houston Roughnecks cornerback signed a 1-year minimum deal with the New Orleans Saints, and this is the second player to land a contract on March 23rd. Nicholls led the XFL in interceptions with 3 and was part of the undefeated Houston Roughnecks defense, which was one of the best in the XFL. He played college football at South Florida and spent time with the Arizona Cardinals before landing in New Orleans. Then he joins P.J. Walker and using his experience to land a contract in the NFL. So the leading passer in the XFL from the Houston Roughnecks gets a contract, and the leading guy in interceptions, who was a former Arizona Cardinals player, lands an NFL contract as well. We see our first coaching departure from the XFL. The Tampa Bay Vipers seen its first member of their staff from 2020 season to move on to another job. Jonathan Himbach, the offensive line coach, has agreed to a contract with the Air Force Academy to be their tight ends coach. You want to stay with the XFL rather than be an Air Force tight ends coach? The offensive line was one of the bright spots for the Vipers in 2020, a unit that was almost never fully healthy, but still had some of the most consistent football during the abbreviated season. Quote, Jonathan, Jessica, and their family are such a natural fit for our football program and academy. Both the depth and breadth of his playing and coaching experience, along with his very sturdy leadership qualities, are perfect for the Falcons. This is Air Force head coach Troy Calhoun. Air Force plays a run-heavy style offense, so adding him a center during his playing days turned offensive line coach will fit perfectly coaching tight ends in the Air Force Falcons offense. Air Force tight ends made 5 receptions during the 2019 season. That's right. Air Force tight ends made 5 catches in the 2019 season. Why would you leave? Oh, hey, I don't know. As a team, the Falcons only attempted 126 throws last season. I guess they're trying to block. Team scored 14 touchdowns through the air and 41 on the ground. So it's all about the running game, I guess. Air Force finished 2019 ranked 22nd in the nation with an 11-2 record and won the Cheez-It Bowl against Washington State. The addition of Himbach to help blocking in their run game is highly big move for that college franchise. So our first coaching staff guy to leave the XFL. We'll be back with special awards, plus your social media stuff right after this. Stay tuned, my friends.
What's up, XFL Army? If you're a fan of the XFL News Hub and you have a telephone, which I know all of you do because you're sitting there playing on your phones all the time, then why not download the XFL News Hub app? That's right, it's on iTunes. It's on Android. We have an Android version and an iPhone version of the XFL News Hub app. So what do you get? You get the latest news from XFL News Hub, the premier source of XFL news in the universe. Plus, you get push notifications when we have breaking news. You will be the first to know. You can leave a comment on some of the news right from your phone. Plus, you get this podcast on your phone as well. Remember, you can leave us reviews on the Google Play Store or iTunes. It links to other social media, our other social media accounts, and so much more. Be in the know. I know you're on your phones. People are on their phones all the time. They never get off their phones. So why not just download the XFL News Hub app on your Android or iPhone today? All you need to do is go to the Google Play Store or iTunes and just type in XFL News Hub. That's XFL News Hub. Download our app on your phone today.
All right, we're back, and we know that the season is basically done. Now, we're hearing in the chat room, is this true that Jordan Ta'amu signed with the Kansas City Chiefs? I'm seeing that on there. Andrew G's pointing that out in the chat room. It says both Roughnecks and Battlehawks have solid back. Oh, wait, no. Somebody said that. Or that's just pure speculation about that part. We haven't heard anything yet. We're live. That's what we're doing. So it's the end of the season, and we have to give our awards. Now, we have the best writers in the XFL universe on XFL News Hub, and we also have our MVP, best players in the league. We just lost one of our guys, PJ Walker. We'll lose others along the way. So here is XFL News Hub's top, our 2020 season awards picked by your friends at XFL News Hub. So we had XFL News Hub have picked our 2020 season award winners by your friends at XFL News Hub. All the writers pitched in together. We put votes, first place, second place, third place. And here is our guys that we picked for top picks of the 2020 XFL season. First up, no shocker here. Offensive Player of the Year with 19 points, P.J. Walker. And second, Cam Phillips. Pretty close. Josh Johnson, third, he got 6 points. And Jordan Ta'amu, the St. Louis Battlehawk, got 1 point. I think those are the right. If you would put them in order, the top three, Cam Phillips had to be number 2. And Josh Johnson was really coming on even after being injured that first game. He looked really good, and he was going to give a run for his money, P.J. Walker. Now, defensive player was kind of all over the place. My guy that I picked, I think, was an honorable mention. That's how bad I was. But the defensive player of the year, according to your friends at XFL News Hub, was Kenny Robinson. That's right, the rookie. The guy that we can't wait to see him in the NFL draft. He got picked as our defensive player of the year, and I hope he gets picked in the first round. It'd be great if he came to the Ravens or something. Second, with 9 votes, was Steven Johnson, and third, with 5 votes, was Kayvon Walker from New York. Steven Johnson, Seattle. A lot of people had him. Other guys on the list, Josh Hawkins, Will Hill, played well. Jamar Summers might get in the NFL. Raheem Moore for DC Defenders. Marcus Gates, that's who I picked. I thought he was always making big plays. He got 2 votes. And Terrence Gavin also got 2 votes as well. Coach of the Year, picked by your friends at XFL News Hub. No doubt about this one. Well, it's kind of close. Jonathan Hayes, St. Louis. However, if we would have had one more game, because that last game that the St. Louis Battlehawks had, they did not look good against DC Defenders. And we really needed to shake that out. But Jonathan Hayes, a surprise for me. I really didn't think that they would be that good, but they were a well-balanced team, well-coached team. Great for the city. He's great for the city of St. Louis. Jonathan Hayes, 18 points. Second place, of course, got to be June Jones with 15 points. His team was undefeated. But it's like we almost came to expect that from June Jones. Lighten it up. Other votes, third place, Winston Moss. He got 4 points. I don't know about that firing deal, but we don't know what happened behind the scenes there. Number 4, Pep Hamilton. I might have moved him up to number 3. He got 3 points. And then Kevin Gilbride in New York, really benching Matt McGloin to put in Luis Perez. That kind of helped him out a little bit. So there you have it. The coach, defensive player, and offensive players of the year from your friends at XFL News Hub. All right, now we're back. Chat room. Yes, Ta'amu is a Kansas City Chief, 100%. What do you guys think of that? Ta'amu at the Kansas City Chiefs. Don't you want him to have a shot at playing somewhere? Nobody else was interested in him? So there you have it. Breaking news here. Ta'amu is gone from St. Louis with the Kansas City Chiefs. You're never going to play there. But, okay. I don't know what offers he had, but hey, bet you they paid him a bunch of money and to work with he gets hurt. Who's the quarterback? I can't even remember his name now. Kansas City quarterback. Help me out, chat room. He gets hurt. Then Ta'amu might get a shot. I mean, you never know. These guys get hurt a lot more than we think in the NFL. That's for sure. So reaction on the Twitters from Pat Mahomes. Oh my gosh. I always forget. I need like a producer to like tell me stuff in my ear because I forget. Yes, all right, guy. Everybody's like, you idiot. Patrick Mahomes. Duh. I'm an XFL guy. I don't even who's Tom Brady? Never heard of him. Who's PJ Walker? That's the guy I know. Tom who? Isn't he old? Didn't he just went to Tampa Bay Vipers or something? Tom Brady played for the Vipers? I forget. On to the social media stuff. Let's check that out. First, we got on the Twitter's reaction to PJ Walker. I was really curious what fans are going to say about PJ Walker. Jonathan O'Brien says, bittersweet, was hoping to see him play more games in the XFL, but if he makes a roster, it'll legitimize the league. Also, the man gets to live his dream playing in the NFL. Totally agree with that. It's just the Cam Phillips. PJ Walker connection is gone. Ugh. What could have been, how many records that they would have held in the XFL had that not happened, if the season wasn't cut short. But we're definitely, and I agree with you 100%, PJ Walker's success, this isn't over yet for you guys, Ta'amu, PJ Walker, and these other guys going into the NFL. You need to play well to help the other guys coming through. And this is going to generate more interest. So it's critical. If he's a dud, if both of them are dud in preseason, or if they look legit, they're going to be like, these are XFL guys. I cannot wait for PJ Walker to hit the field and the chance of XFL rain out through the stadium will be awesome. On to, let's see here. Let's see, on the Instagrams. M. Rennick, 42, says, great signing for Carolina. Walker knows Matt Rule and is comfortable with him, and he's way better than Will Grier or Kyle Allen. I think he'll win the backup job. I agree with you there. Sharif Ahmed says, sad. Sindor says, very good. And so there you have it on the Instagram. Good there. It is sad. Well, I mean, it's sad, but it is good. It really needs to be good. And I agree. I think, and what do you think in the chat room? I believe, and again, this will help the XFL. If PJ Walker, I don't know why I do that. PJ Walker is your backup quarterback with the Carolina Panthers. That needs to happen, my friends. That needs to happen. Oops. Where are we going here? That's something that we need. That will help the XFL. On to the Facebook's reaction. Kyle says, seems like a crowded QB room with Walker, Bridgewater, Allen. We saw Allen would go. Gavin says, you think they should sign Cam Phillips so he has a receiver he trusts. Interesting. Clifford, he was great in the XFL. We'll see how it works in the NFL. I agree with that. Joe says, money is there. Not sure if he'll play, but there's a chance. I don't think they'll reunite Cam Phillips because then fans are going to go crazy to see that happening. Fans will go crazy. They would want to see that. No doubt about that. All right. That's for the social media stuff. On to your emails. Of course, never fails. Well, first, let's check out the chat room. What does the chat room got to say about this? Humphrey Richard says, so do Houston get a championship ring? No, they're not getting a championship ring. They didn't finish. Andrew G says, Mahomes didn't play every game last year, and that kneecap can pop out of place anytime. You think we're going to have, what's that chick's name? Tanya Harding deal? Maybe PJ Walker comes in there, pops him in the knee, runs away so he can play? That would be news. Richard says, I just can't wait to see who the quarterbacks in the XFL are. Me too. After all this happens and our guys are cycled out, I mean, it's going to be so valuable for some of these guys, especially Connor Cook. I'm going to go out on a limb here based on what everything's going on. So you had Ta'amu's gone. And one of the reasons why I'm glad, because I always screw up his name, but I'm not glad. I wish he stayed. Ta'amu is gone. PJ Walker is gone. Now we're getting some open quarterbacks. We know BJ Daniels is the guy in Seattle. We know Cardell Jones. You have to, based on a year in the system, that Connor Cook has got to be a guy, potential MVP guy, just because of the system alone. Remember, this was like 1B to PJ Walker 1A in the draft. So you know that June Jones was deciding between the two. That Connor Cook, he might have, because that was surprising. Phase 1, first pick, offensive player, you already have a quarterback, and you pick another quarterback. And we were all like, what? Now he's looking smart. On to the email, of course, our number one emailer, Nicholas, checking in. He says, I hate to say the league end, see the league end. like this, but I'm so glad to hear that we'll be back in 2021. Absolutely, we will be back. It was a fun year. Something have to be fixed, but it is a great product. This time helps the XFL to put certain things in place, helps Oliver Luck to build the brand rather than switching the New York Stadium or doing something big move like LA to San Diego. Helps Jeffrey Pollack to improve things like betting. Helps Doug Whaley, Eric Galko. We haven't heard much from Doug Whaley all season. Eric Galko and Justin King, by giving them more time to examine what talent could come available and contact them earlier than they would have in the season. For that instance, it's the success with Kenny Robinson. They could look to add more talent from the college ranks like JT Daniels. I hate not being able to watch the XFL anymore this season, but I love where it can go. Hope everyone out there is safe. Be careful. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see here in the chat room. I saw something. Where was that? Andrew says Connor Cook was supposed to be the face of the XFL. Then PJ Walker showed up. Not necessarily, because he wasn't there first. PJ Walker was the guy that was picked first. He also says you'll probably see Tamu do some read options, QB sneaks, one short with things with Mahomes' injury. That's lame. I hate when they do that. Just leave the guy in all the time. Quit taking him in and out. It's so boring. I hate when they do that. So stick with XFL News Hub on more of these player signings. We'll have all sorts of information on them. It's going to be an interesting week. Also, be safe out there. It was really nice. We had our fantasy baseball fantasy baseball draft this weekend. It was really nice to disconnect, get into some sports. Anything. I take anything. Fantasy badminton at this point would be good for me. Something to get our minds off of what's going on. So we're having some fun. There's going to be a lot of signings this week and next week, so stay with XFL News Hub for that. We have the NFL draft coming up, so we'll be able to start talking about players. We'll talk about maybe expansion, relocation. We'll get into those things. Those are hot topics XFL fans want to do. But we have a whole thing. Like, listen, now we have the NFL draft player signings things going on now. Then, hopefully by July, we have the summer showcases where we can go check out those players. Then you have the NFL season start in August. You have games in September. You have the XFL draft in October, and then we're cranking things up with fantasy stuff. Really want to get hardcore into fantasy XFL this year. I'm thinking about it, and I'm reaching out to the XFL at some point saying, if you don't have a partner in that's going to do fantasy, we're going to build our own fantasy application on XFL News Hub. I can do it. I just figured that they would have somebody. But not having a full season, I could totally see me, well, we're just going to hold off on one more year. No, please don't. Please don't do that. All right, so thanks, everybody, for being part of the show. Remember, you can email podcast at XFL News Hub or call 888-430-7692 extension 3 to leave your message. This week's question, we're going to just reaction to more of these XFL player signings. We'll talk about that next week. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, XFL News Hub. Subscribe right now to our YouTube channel. We appreciate that. Plus, you got our app on Google Play and iTunes. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We'll read it on the show. Remember, you can listen to the show, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, YouTube, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Stitcher. Also, I want to throw out there that we have a Discord. Head over to XFL News Hub or email me, podcast at XFL News Hub. I'll give you the link to our Discord where we could take this chat back into the I'm going to actually go send this to link. I don't know if I can do that actually in the chat room. But yeah, hit me up, shoot me a message. It'll be all over XFL News Hub, our Discord server, as a way for us to kind of hang out during the season and chat and kind of gauge. I really want to use it as a way to see what you guys want to hear. Not only we have a separate channel in the Discord to talk XFL News Hub or XFL Week in Review stuff. You can chat with our reporters that we have on for every team. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm not a video game. I like video games, but I've never been like a chatting people Discord kind of thing. The guys brought it up to my attention, actually on several sites. So we're implementing that as just a way to communicate, especially with all the bad things that are going on. So I want you to stay safe there. Pray for all you guys. Pray for this country, everybody around the world, that we can get through this so that we can get back to our sports. It's going to be so much fun. But at least we have this little disconnect, this little time to hang out and focus on the XFL. I'm excited about the offseason, and I'm excited what things to come. So thanks for listening. Mahalo to all my friends out there. God bless y'all. And thanks for checking out, hanging out there with us on the chat room. And I will see you all later. Peace.